Kick it.
It's CANDID. She's just so CANDID.
Welcome guys to the CANDID show. I am your host CANDID and I have my extra special guest here. Some of you guys pretty much know who he is, but for those who don't know who he is, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I'm gonna do this a different way. Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody out there in TV land? I'm Gary Jenkins, Lil G, aka G7, aka Lil Swole. I'm just playing.
We're gonna have to figure that one out. Okay.
And I'm G from the multi-platinum R&B group Silk. And I do some acting and some producing and some writing and etc. etc. etc.
Speaking of acting, that brought you here to Indianapolis. Love's Not
Yes.
the play.
Love's Not Yet. We just completed the series of that. We had 3 shows here in Indiana, and it was at the Basel Theater in the Athenaeum building. That building was made for the Germans, right?
Well,
it was like a German.
It's definitely one of our historic buildings here in Indianapolis. But I will say this: the show was awesome.
Oh, thank you so
I mean,
much.
it was locally written, locally produced here in Indianapolis.
Yes.
But also at the same time, not all of the cast members were local. I love the fact that it's a twist. It's a twist. It was really nice, and I think you guys, when it comes to a city near you, because it will.
Yes. Yes.
You gotta check it out.
Yes, it was a production that was produced by CANDID. CANDID Productions.
Starting with the K.
Yes. Miss Diana Duvall and her partners.
Yes.
Kyla and
all female
Miss Trina.
production. All female production company here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's 3 of them. The ladies were so great.
Well, Silk, we just celebrated, and we're continuing to celebrate our 25th anniversary. We're in the studio as if you speak.
Good. I can't wait.
Now, and we're recording some new music. The last album that we released was called Quiet Storm.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can look for some more from that album because it wasn't really put out there like it should have been.
Oh, I love.
But it is a dope album, trust me.
Baby Suit.
Quiet Storm. Oh my God, that's the joint. And
Come on. See, I loved it. Oh my gosh, I love Baby Suit. I was just like, oh my gosh, when he was like, Japan is in the air. I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? Wow.
You see, she like the freaky stuff.
Well, shoot. I mean, that's all that was going on.
Want some candy? No,
You are so funny. But yeah, I love the album Quiet Storm. I completely love the intro. I like But you also wrote on that album too as well, didn't you?
Yeah. I've written on all of the Silk records and produced on all of them. I've been blessed to be able to do that. Thanks to the guys for trusting in me to allow me to put some of my creativity, on the album and to share it with them. So
not only do you guys just come off your 25th anniversary celebration, but you also have successful unsung episode as well.
Yeah.
Yes. That was wow.
They still playing that thing too.
Why not? It's a story that needed to be told. And I'm sure you guys have some more to add to it too as well.
Yes, I'm also working on a solo project. I'm trying to be the new James Brown, the hardest working man in the industry. I'm not.
You are.
I'm doing everything. But yes, I have been presented with the situation to do my solo project. It's G7. the title of the album is No Parole. I'm sentenced to life in music.
Oh, that's right.
So this album is going to entertain you in a sense, and it's going to give you an entrance way into the life of Lil G, of G7.
And that's supposed to be further explained on the album, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll explain G7. G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. I'm the 7th child.
Yes, you're the youngest.
5 boys and 2 girls. And 7 is the number of completion. So therefore I have some religious roots as well. That's where I started in this game. And I started singing in church when I was 7 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I joined Bobby Jones Gospel. So that's where the G7 comes from. So that's going to give you even more detail on the life of G. And the music, man, I just can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's not just because I'm creating most of it or whatever. I have a slew of other producers, well-known producers and writers, to help me out with this. I never want to do everything all by myself.
So last night I got a chance to look at you perform. The guitar, I thought it was Prince. I'm telling you, he was on that guitar. Doing all of that. So tell us about that, because that's another side that I've never seen before. So what can we expect from the G7, the parole, no parole? Tell us about that project.
You will hear my musicianship, and you will see it in the videos. Once you see it, you're going to automatically know, what it is. I play in lieu of like 13 instruments.
That's nice.
So
sounds like a little bit of a one-man show.
Guitar and keyboard being my mains. Well, guitar and piano being my mains, but I'm a B3 lover. B3 organ and all of that, everything, man. I play bass and drums, etc., 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 but those are my main babies. It all came about from the song Freak Me Baby. Freak Me. And Mr. Keith Sweat and his producers, they produced our first album, Lose Control. And that was like the biggest hit. Freak Me was the biggest hit on Lose Control album. But we gave him some hold on, man. We can't, how we gonna do that, man? We all church boys and stuff like that. We all came out of church and singing, what's the name of the group? They got Commission, singing Commission records, doing different a cappella versions of that, and the Williams brothers, and then we start recording this album, and then here we come with all of these, and then he was like, "Yo, baby, just trust me, baby. Let me do this." So we went on and did it, put our vocals down and everything, and then ended up being what everybody wanted. So I guess it just let me know how freaky the world is.
Oh, shoot. Hey, all right. Ooh,
So
step away from that subject.
We ended up really giving them, what they wanted, but still, it wasn't as blatant as music is today.
Really?
We found a way to do foreplay through our music rather than one play. The music to me today is one play.
Oh.
Straight to the dome. But see, we knew how to caress the ladies, we knew how to swoon the ladies, we knew how to massage them a little bit. We knew how to go with the mind because, you know, sex, 95% of sex is in the mind anyway. The physical aspect of it is only 5%.
Is it really hard to do?
I don't concentrate on it because the people have showed us what they want.
Okay.
When they hear silk, silk is what they want. So we try to maintain to always stay true to our game. You're always gonna hear us with a few bells and whistles. You know, but the 90s era is really storming back.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You know, it may be more so in the concert arena, you know, in the series and shows and things like that. But the people are hungry for it because they don't have the substance in everything. I'm not knocking these artists and everything. Everybody do what you do. There's room for everybody. You know, you do what you do. But what I prefer to do is to swoon ladies and to pamper them and to make them feel special and to make them feel respected. You know, with the music.
I know.
And also get out with the get out.
Well, see, and that's what a lot of the music is missing. Like you just said, it's going straight to the point. And you know, let's talk about it. You spoke about it. A lot of us don't want to we don't want to just rush into it. We want to get to that mood. We want to be in a mood. We want to have that mood set. You want to have the right music. You want to have the candles, all of that good stuff, you know. And I just think that's just like the best era anyway, the 90s music, all of it.
And we're actually bridging the gap.
Yes.
You know, with that music, because a lot of the younger generation, they're hit what's going on with us, you know, and that's a blessing in itself. You know, I've had like 15 and 16-year-olds come to me, oh, you're my favorite. I just love you so much. And so, wow, and I'm like, you're 15. What are you doing now? But, you know, it just goes to show that if you just stay steadfast and stand still to what you believe in and what you do, you know, and, you know, I know a lot of artists from the older generation have really messed themselves up by trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with these young kids. You're not going to be able to do it. But what you do is through their parents. They're the ones who really have the old souls and the ones who are really into more than just the pow, pow, bang, bang. And that's how you progress it. And that's how we get over that hurdle that you were talking about. My first single from my album, I released it early, and it's called Like We Used To. And what it talks about is talking about bringing the love back in relationships. And it's a stepper's cut. The beat of it, it's that Midwest, you know, steppers ballroom dancing and everything, and I'm really proud of that. It was produced by Mr. Wally Morris and his camp. It says simply, it's like we're going through the motions, making love with no emotion. It's like we were roomies in the same crib, but this ain't where your heart lives. It's nothing like it used to be. Now your friends don't even know me. We strangers in our own house. Please tell me what that's all about. Is there someone else that you've given all your love to? Honey, I just need to know so we can let these feelings go. And the hook says, we don't talk like we used to. You feel me? We don't kiss like we used to. We don't love like we used to. We don't trust like we used to. We don't play like we used to. We don't date like we used to. We don't lay like we used to. We don't even pray like we used to. So, now you get it.
Wow. That is I like that. I like that song.
And it was #2 on the indie soul charts for 3 straight weeks.
Because how do you manage with the music business has changed since the 90s? You know, you have a lot of, no longer do you need a label. You know, it's all social media and the internet. How do you keep up with that?
Well, you know, I'm building my team for that. You know, I have a couple of people who have helped me, you know, along the way, like my business partner and some other people who have stayed strong on my social media pages, and you know, that's basically how we did it. You know, and you know, in hopes of you know, getting it to the point, you know, for the distribution companies and things like that, you know, to come to it. And there's a couple of things that's in the working, you know, but being real quiet about it. But you know, social media, that's the way of the world now.
Yeah.
Visual is the way of the world now in the music industry. There's a lot of these record companies don't even A&R. They don't even have A&R departments anymore.
No.
Things like that. No artist development.
Because of social media, it forces the artist to get in to do multiple roles versus when years ago you only had one role, and that was to sing or whatever your role was. Because you had that team. You had a team of writers, you had a team of producers, and so your only focus, your only role was to perform. Now it's almost forcing you to become that multi-talented artist because those people are not in those positions anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
So
then when you go to the major record companies, you have to have everything pretty much done. So they can spend the least amount of money that they can to put it out there, but then they reap the benefits from it, though.
And that's the way of the business. that's the business.
You know, and it's a lot harder for us, you know, older seasoned artists. You know, but it's coming. We're getting there. We're breaking ice. Charlie Wilson is the #1 example of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he killed it. He hit it by a storm. So.
So let me ask you a question. So you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's www.GaryLilGJenkins.com.
And
that's Gary LILG Jenkins.com.
you have some product line. Well, tell us about your merch.
Yeah, I'm dibbling-dabbling a few t-shirts, you know, gonna have a few things coming about, you know, G7 is gonna be, you know, hot, you know, I'm trying to do my thing with my G's Angels, you know, we have some t-shirts with the G's Angels and everything and all of that, so we'll explain all of that later once everything really starts to
form together.
congeal.
And so you are in the process of completing your project right now? Okay.
In the process of finishing both mine and Silk's as well, so.
Nice. How do you find time to have just your me time?
I get it, trust me.
Okay. Now that leads me into another question. I'm sure the ladies want to know. It's up to you if you want to answer it. Is she single? Okay. He didn't answer that question. See? Look.
See, I have to maintain a mystique.
Okay. Okay, so take that for what it is.
See, this is going to keep them watching because they're like, what?
Exactly.
Gotta keep it on your toes.
Yeah, just never know.
All you gotta do is eat the soup.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. When they want to book you, how do they do that? Website?
There are forms and things on the website that you can go to book me, to fill those out. But you'll see the numbers and everything once you go on the website.
Yes.
and everything, and through my social media as well, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, is it all linked up together
It's
on
all
your
linked
website?
up together.
Okay.
But for those who don't get into the website, you can go to for my Instagram, it's Gary LILG, and for my Facebook, it's Gary G Jenkins and Gary Lil G Jenkins. 2 pages. Take it seriously. It's not all bells and whistles. It's not all flashy and gold and everything. You got to put in the work. Every day, figure out something to do in order to make yourself better. You know, if you're great already, well, you need us for it. You know what I'm saying? So there's always something to learn and always some way to better expand yourself. So stay true to you. Don't copycat. Stay true to you. Be you. Because everybody in this industry is looking for difference. They're looking for uniqueness in style or whatever, you know. Be patient, you know, because it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it might, you know, depends on what the situation is, but always be patient. Stay prayed up and surround yourself with people who you know you can trust.
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. Anything else you want to say before we?
Just want to say thank you to Indianapolis and whoever's watching this, you know, who has supported me all over the years and supported my group Silk, and who've shown us a lot of love. And you guys always come out for us, so I want to say thank you, and I love you for that. And we want to continue to give you new music, to give you fresh music that helps you in any emotion that you're having at that particular time. Peace, love, and hair grease, baby.
I'd like to thank my extra special guest, Gary Lil G Jenkins, lead vocalist of Silk and songwriter, composer, and all those things in one, actor, which is why we're here today. I am Candy, I'm your host, and we're out.
Kick it. It's Candy, Candy. She's just so candy, candy. It's Candy.